Late nights, grab my phone, see her smile. Now I can't get a freak, make my heart fly. Beauty, wisdom wrapped in style. A channel takes me to the sky. Echoes of a...
Hello my YouTube family, how are you wherever you are? Remember, my channel is about learning and entertainment. So I'm here today to let you learn something new which maybe you had never known about my channel. But before I give you what I have for today, kindly subscribe to my YouTube channel. And so today, guys, I have a very important topic for you. It's not even a topic really, but I decided that today I want to tell you more about Nyarkingi Afrique as a channel. I know there are those of you who've been watching and you've been seeing different content. Sometimes I cook, sometimes I share stories, and you've been wondering what my channel is about. So today I'm going to answer questions concerning my channel. And without any further ado, I'll go straight to the questions. Okay, what inspired me to start my YouTube channel? I have quite different things that inspired me, but let me make it clear here that I started my YouTube channel a decade ago. I remember when you check my channel, you'll realize that it was started in 2015. That is 10 years ago. And when I started this thing, I remember that time YouTube was still kind of new, and it was one of the platforms, the social media platforms, and so I felt like I wanted to be in all the platforms. I was in Facebook, I was in WhatsApp, and so I also wanted to be in YouTube, because I'm that kind of a person who's been embracing technology all along. So given that it was new, and that is what technology had given birth to that time, I also wanted to get a taste of it. And my intention was not to monetize anything or get money out of it, because that time I didn't even know that you would earn from YouTube. I didn't know it was that easy, or it's not easy, yes, but I didn't know people were earning from it. So I thought it was somewhere you would just post your things, people see, and then you sell. But then so my main drive that time was that I wanted I was embracing technology, and I wanted to be at the same pace with technology. So I ended up being in all the platforms. I even tried as much as possible to join Instagram, which of course I'm not very active. So that is the reason why I joined it that time in 2015. We moved that way, and then during COVID is when I started posting things, just because of idleness. That time we were idle at home, and my children would learn through Zoom. Sometimes they would be told to take videos of how they were preparing certain meals, and then they were told to share with the teachers, and those videos are what made me realize that there's something else I could do in YouTube. And so I started posting my daughter's videos on YouTube. They're there, and I was just doing it for fun, not for anything, just for fun. So most of the time I was using YouTube for fun. All along it was for fun, until last year when I realized there's something important I can do on YouTube. And that is the time I started posting stories. I'm a writer, and that's something I realized way back when I was a small girl. I've been having that passion all along, and it was in me. I've always been creative, and so sometimes I would just sit down and use my phone. My phone never lacks word up, so sometimes I would just sit down and just write a story. This book that I did on my phone, I just opened the word up and I started doing a book. And I wrote a book of so many pages. It's still in soft copy. I've never published it, because the time I was writing this book, that's during COVID, publishing a book wasn't a walk in the park, leave alone marketing, which is now the headache. publishing a book was not easy. So my aim was just to write. It was passion. I was just passionate about what I was doing. And so I decided I was just going to write and just have it and feel good about it. I wrote a whole book. It's still there in soft copy, and I kept it. And after that, I also realized that it needed some editing, and editing also requires money, and that would involve fund. And I always focus ahead. I started wondering, if I'm going to look for someone to edit this book, whom I'm going to pay a good sum of money, how am I going to benefit out of it? And that is the reason why I never bothered to look for an editor, and I just decided to keep it, and I still have it. I've never published it. And then after that, I started writing other stories. I would write short stories, but then I would realize that I would deleted them out of my phone. Sometimes when I'm emptying my phone storage, I realize I've deleted them, and I feel bad. So one day I sat down. It was just last year when I sat down and I said, hey, I've been writing so many stories. Where can I post these stories for people to get to read them, even if I'm going to gain nothing out of it? And so I realized, I went online, I went to Google. Google has always been a friend. Google is where I ask everything that disturbs me concerning technology and everything. And so I went to Google and I asked, and Google told me that I can post them on YouTube. I can post them on social media. And now the best way to do it is on YouTube, where with time you can get to monetize and even earn out of it. And so I started writing. In fact, I had some stories which I had written. And then the next question was, where am I going? How am I going to put it in YouTube? And there's this friend of mine who's also a colleague who told me that there's a way I can do picture stories. And he even referred me to Copilot and many other apps where I could get pictures. And so I went and started downloading pictures. And now the most difficult part of it was finding pictures that look the same character, having the same face, having the same body structure and the clothes. And so it used to give me hard time. But then at the end of the day, I would come up with something which I would appreciate. And so that's how I started making picture stories and posting on Facebook. And so what inspired my seriousness? Because the question was, what inspired me to start my YouTube channel? I started it out of, I wanted to have fun, just feel good of being in YouTube. But then what inspired my seriousness is the fact that I can write stories and post them as picture stories is what inspired me the most. And I've been doing that since last year, and I enjoy it the most. Okay, I know many people have been wondering why my channel is called Nyarkingi Afrique. I'll again give you a long story. Way back in 2015 when I started my channel, I was using my real name. And then the moment I became serious, that is last year, when I started posting stories, is the time now I thought I should have a serious name. And so I gave my YouTube channel the name Nyarkingi. That is why it has always been my Facebook name. And when I gave it Nyarkingi, I realized there are so many Nyarkingis in YouTube. And so I rebranded it Afrique. So to at least give people easy time whenever they are looking for me in YouTube. Because when you write Nyarkingi, you will not even find my content. In fact, those days I was so young, and when you are so young in YouTube, someone can search and you'll never be found easily. So I wanted to make it easy for my viewers to find me. So I rebranded it Nyarkingi Afrique. And so the name Nyarkingi, people might be asking, why Nyarkingi? because Afrik was a rebrand. So why Nyarkingi? And so Nyarkingi is my name. When I was a young girl, I grew up in a polygamous family. My dad was a businessman, a very serious businessman and a farmer. And he had businesses, he had shops, he had butcheries, he had so many kind of businesses and big farms. And he was seriously doing farming those days. And I grew up when people were planting cotton and all sorts of crops. And so there's this plot near our market where he used to plant what we call it, cotton. He used to plant cotton. So one day, cotton had done so well in that farm, and his workers could not manage to harvest within the limited time that he wanted them to be harvested. And so he urged all his children who were there and the grandchildren to go and support in harvesting. And that is how we went to support. And when it approached lunchtime, he came and told us that he wanted to buy for us lunch. And he told people to choose what they would want to eat. And they didn't respond immediately. They took a bit of time. And because of that time that they took, he said, so it's Nyarkingi who is going to decide on what we are going to eat. And I decided on nyama choma and ugali. That was I liked that because I grew up in a family where a butchery was there and we would eat meat whenever we wanted. So I chose nyama choma and ugali, and then I told him after that we would need some sodas. And that's exactly what he did. And so that's the day he never called me again by my names. He used to call me Nyarkingi, and even people at home knew me as Nyarkingi from then. So that is why I've always been using this name on almost every media platform that I'm in. Okay, like I started when I was introducing this video, my channel is about learning and entertainment. And when you look at my videos, you'll realize that almost every video, in fact all of them, have lessons. The stories that I share have moral lessons, and that is my intention. I want people to learn from them. I'm not just posting for fun. I want people to get entertained and as well learn through them. And then when it comes to cooking, I also teach people how to cook, though I'm not a very good cook, but I always find it fun when I'm in the kitchen and cooking, especially chapati. So you'll realize the only dish that I've ever cooked in my channel is chapati, but I'll look into it and make it a bit serious. Okay, how I come up with ideas for my content. Like I told you, I'm a writer, and it's something I'm passionate about. It's something that flows. Whenever I start writing, I never miss ideas. I can write 3 stories in a day. It's something that just comes. When I start a story, I'll always think of a theme that I'd like to exhaust, and then the story will just flow. And that's how I end up having in fact, having ideas is not something difficult because I'm doing something I'm passionate about. Now, the only challenge that comes is when I'm looking for pictures or videos to support my story. That's where I normally find a bit of a challenge. But then I try describing. I use those AI apps and I try as much as possible to describe the character that I want, and I always tend to get what I want. Now, the equipment that I use for my filming and editing are a phone. Even right now I'm using my phone to record this video. And editing, I use CapCut. It has really been of great help But you know, given that my YouTube channel is still young, I don't want to use a lot of money in this. So CapCut has also become a bit of a challenge. You'll find my videos having its watermark because I've not paid for the premium or pro. Because I'm like, now I'm paying, I'll be paying. But you know, in every business, we need profit. And if I'm not going to get profit out of this, then I don't see myself putting a lot of money into it, as long as people can get to watch the videos and understand what they are about. As a YouTuber, I've faced the challenge of getting the right camera, and what we've just talked about, editing. Sometimes I want to use certain features, but because I've not paid for the premium or pro, I cannot. So that's a big challenge for any serious YouTuber. And then having a phone like mine, which is not very clear, is also a bit of a challenge. And what else? As a YouTuber, we need subscribers. We need enough viewers. I'm still young. When you look at my subscribers, the number is still pathetic, and the viewers as well. So I'll not fear to urge you guys to subscribe to my YouTube channel, so that I even put more effort to entertain you even more and more. Now, the video that was a bit challenging and kind of rewarding to create was my first story. The story is the title of the story is "All That Glitters Is Not Gold." That was my first story, and when I did this story, writing it wasn't, the writing part was very easy because I told you I'm good at that. But then editing was the greatest challenge. That is the time I was now learning to look for the photos that suit the characters. It was my first time, and I took a long period of time to find an app which could give me what I wanted, because whenever I tried, I was getting very different characters for the same character that I would want. So it took me a bit of a long time, but at the end of it, I managed. And now I felt it rewarded me, because when I posted that video, when you look at the first video, I hardly reached 100 views. But when I posted this video, it was on a Sunday, if I'm not wrong, and I posted it around 4 p.m. and within 30 minutes 300 people had viewed the story. I was happy. I was very, very, very happy. 300 people within 30 minutes, and I'd been looking for 100 in 1 year. And so it kept on moving until it reached 500 by evening, and I couldn't believe it. Motivated me to continue doing this more and more and more. And that's the time I said to myself that I was never going to look back. I'd always do it despite the challenges that I'm facing. And since that time, I've always been posting my videos without regretting. Okay, the one thing I wish I knew when I started my YouTube channel back in 2015 was that YouTube pays. I didn't know that. I thought it was for fun, just because I was in Facebook, and for real, Facebook had always been for fun for me, because I've never had, at that time I never heard of anybody saying they were earning from Facebook. So I thought, like Facebook, YouTube was just there to share your things and feel good. And so I never took it seriously, but I wish I knew it was that serious. Right now I would be very, very far away. Balancing YouTube and work is not easy. YouTube is a full-time job. With content creation, is a full-time job. I'm an 8 to 5 p.m. person. I start my work at 8. In fact, I start before 8 and I finish at 5. Meaning I leave my house very early in the morning and I come late. And I've always found that one to be a bit of a challenge because I cannot do my contents from Monday to Friday. So the only days remaining are Saturday and Sunday, which of course are also committed because there's church there and you also need to hang out with your family and give them your time. You also need your time, your me time. And so I find very little time. And that's why when you look at my content, you'll realize that I've not been posting when I'm at work, during my work days, when I'm not on leave. And so when you realize that I'm posting maybe after 1 week, after 1 week, after 1 week, after 1 month, then I'm on leave. And that is the time I find enough time to do this content. But when I'm not on leave, it's difficult because there's no time for that. I find very little time. You need that time to shoot good videos. You need time to edit them. You need time to even upload them, and that needs a lot of time. So balancing has been a bit of a challenge to me. It's not easy, and that's why many people who enter into content creation and they are doing well will quit easily whatever job they are doing if they have a passion for content creation, because to me it's a full-time job, just like anybody else who understands what content creation is about. Okay, what motivates me and what makes me consistent with my content creation is the fact that I'm doing what I'm passionate about. What I know will make someone want to move out of content creation is when you are doing something that you don't like, when you are forcing things. In content creation, there's nothing like forcing, and when it comes to forcing, you'll definitely abandon this as soon as possible and do something else because it's not easy. So mine is passion, the passion of writing and wanting to share what I've written now that I cannot publish them. Because when it comes to publishing, I'm always like, publishing has become easy, but then marketing, how will I manage marketing these books and get what I want out of them? So that is what drives me. And so mine is very easy. I'm consistent, and I'll always be consistent and motivated because I'm doing what I love. Okay, the advice I would give to someone starting their YouTube channel today is that they should never give up. Be consistent and never give up. Because the moment you post one thing and you see you are getting viewers and then you disconnect and stay for like 1 month without posting anything, remember you are losing these viewers, you're also losing your subscribers because they'll not be used to seeing your content. And so it's always good to continue and continue even if you are not getting enough views. Like now my views are still low, but I'll always continue because as I continue I get more and more and more, and they get used to my niche and they want to watch it more. So the only secret in YouTube is that we should always be consistent and we should not give up in what we are doing there, and we should be passionate about what we are doing in YouTube. Just show passion, do what you love doing. It's not about doing just anything, it's about showcasing your talent. That's what I've realized with YouTube. YouTube is about showcasing your talent, and I've decided to showcase mine there, which is storytelling, and I'll never give up. however few or many the subscribers and the viewers will be. So thank you for watching my YouTube family. I'm glad you've appreciated the questions that I tried to come up with and the way I've answered them. And now you will know more and more about Nyarkingi Afrique. Thank you very much. Continue subscribing, continue watching, and please tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend, so that we can grow in this journey together. Thank you. Until another time. See you.